I'm writing a paper on financial CDs for a class in FYE. So I'm opening up Google Chrome and I'm gonna log into my Georgia Southern. And I'm gonna go to the library Galileo page. And then I'm gonna look for financial CDs, full text only and scholarly journals only, and search. And I'm gonna limit to full text and scholarly peer-reviewed journals. And then I'm gonna limit it to more recently, so I guess 2000 to 2014. And then I'm gonna open a Word document so that I can copy all the links into it when I get links for articles. So and I'm probably gonna change the search because this isn't working out too well. So I forget what CD stands for, so I'm gonna Google that. And certificate of deposit, so I'm gonna look up that because it's probably gonna work out better. And then I'm gonna go back to, oh, it already has the dates. So I'm gonna click on this article because it seems to be explaining what a certificate of deposit is, and it's from an academic journal, The Market for Retail Certificates of Deposit, explaining interest rates. This looks like it's explaining the interest rates of different certificates of deposit, so it seems like a good article for the paper that I would be writing. So I'd read over it more probably, but I'll copy and paste the link to it into the Word document so I can look at it more later. And then I'll go back to the result list to find more articles. I'm going to do an advanced search so that I can search just by that the title has certificate of deposit in it, because it seemed like I was getting a bunch of articles that just had certificate of deposit as a keyword instead of the title. And this looks like it's more relevant. And then I'm going to limit it back to full text and scholarly and peer-reviewed articles. there's that same article. I'm going to click on this one, a new look at certificates of deposit, because that seems really relevant to the topic. This one, I keep seeing dates from 1966, so I'm probably not going to use this one because it seems really old, and I don't need old information about certificates of deposit in the paper. I forgot to select the dates. That's why I'm getting the old articles. So I changed it so that I have a narrower thing of dates. And I'll click on this one. Do equity linked certificates of deposit have equity like returns? Because it also seemed to be relevant to certificates of deposit. And it's from 2005, so that's not as old as the other one was. And this seems to be explaining more about specialty certificates of deposit. So I'm going to copy and paste this link because it's not about broad certificates of deposit, but it still has a bunch of information about them, it looks like. I'll go back to the results. It doesn't look like there's too many more articles that are relevant to certificates of deposit on here. So I'd probably just look over the ones that I had, and if there's any information gaps that I noticed in the articles, I'd look up what I didn't have in the sources that I've already located. And I guess that's it.
I'm doing a paper on cloud computing for an IT class. I first open up Google Chrome and type in cloud computing. Um, then I look through the search and I type in the advantages of cloud computing. I use Google because it's usually the fastest way to search stuff. Um, I open up the tab for Amazon. What is cloud computing? Most most of the time when I find a good page, I'll just save it as a bookmark so I can come back to it later. Saving it as a bookmark also helped me keep it so I can make my bibliography page later, so I don't have to memorize everything. I also pick pages that's usually more, if I'm doing a project about technical stuff, I'll pick pages from things that has to do a lot more with technical things, and mainly tech websites that may have different forums and things to see other people's opinion about the thing I'm writing about. I also search the benefits of cloud computing benefits, and there are scholarly articles that Google have cited. Springer link, and it just gives me a chance to buy a chapter out of the book or look at the abstract for it. Sometimes they give out little outlines and tell us what the paper is actually about. Another tool that I used at my old school was Galileo, where it had a lot of peer review. I chose the first link. Um, it actually talks about how cloud computing came along and the start of it, which probably be good. And it's come from a dictionary. I mean, not a dictionary, a encyclopedia. So that's a reliable source. And I think it's easier to cite things from Galileo because they already give you everything, like the name, the author who read it, and the source that they got it from. also when I search things, if it's a big list, and I want just specifically that one thing, I'll put surround it in quotes, and Google will just search those terms inside that in the quotation marks. So it kind of like narrows the field, which gets helpful if you're doing the research and you have a question, and it'll search something that may have that exact question in it. Also, go to multiple websites and search the same thing. So, like on this page, there's like top 5 cloud computing security issues. I'll look it up on another site also and see that's if that's somewhat of a valid um, group of